yet tries to make me doubt. I say, my sins are gone. You got me into trouble, but Jesus got me out. I'm glad my sins are gone. Sins are gone. I'm living now for Jesus. I'm happy night and day because my sins are gone. My soul is filled with music. With all my heart I say, I know my sins are gone. My sins are gone. There underneath the blood on the cross of Calvary, as far removed as darkness is from dawn, in the sea of God's forgetfulness that's good enough for me. Praise God, my sins are gone. My sins are gone. Praise God, my sins are gone.
Our group spanned about 5 years in the mid-70s, and this is only a small fraction of the young women that participated in the Liberty Bells. We had a great time. We traveled and sang in churches. We participated in a lot of stuff on campus and just had a really, really great time serving the Lord. A lot of these women have gone on to be missionaries and teachers and all kinds of things, and tomorrow we're going to have a little more time for them to just tell you what they've been doing all these years. When we, the Liberty Bells spanned about 5 years. I was gone for a year doing mission work, and a faculty member named Deborah Hickey took over while I was gone, and when I got back, we were invited to go to a missionary congress in Latin America. So it was quite a big deal to get us there, and we sang in Bogota, Colombia, and we had a 30-minute TV show that we memorized, and I was so proud of the group. They memorized every bit of it in Spanish. And Janet was a big help. Janet Johnson, MK from Peru. She helped us a bunch with our Spanish. And I would like for her to tell you a little bit more about her testimony and introduce the next song.
Good evening. Kathy asked me to share a little bit about what the years of BBC meant to me and in my life, and how that has kept staying with me all these, I hate to say it, 30 years. It just sounds horrible, but it's true. When I first came to the United States, like she said, my parents were missionaries, Rudy and Lorraine Johnson in Peru, and I had been there my whole life. And the world was much more divided back then than it is now. I mean, today we travel around the world and it's just everybody's watching the same news, everybody's connected, but back then they weren't. And so moving to the United States was a huge culture shock for me. As many missionary kids at that time in history, when they would come back, it was just really, we were unhappy. I was a little bit angry at God for having switched my parents in ministry. I didn't like the culture here. I was just unhappy and unsettled. But when I came to BBC, I joined the Liberty Bells because they were going to Colombia, so I thought, okay, at least I get to go away for a while and speak my language and eat food that I'm familiar with and that sort of thing. So that was kind of my motivating factor at first to join the Liberty Bells. And one of the songs, I think when we all started talking about this, one of the favorite songs is the next one we're going to do. And tomorrow I'll tell you a little bit more about what the Lord has brought David and I through the last 30 years and what we keep doing. But it all really, I think one of the great things about BBC is that missions is such a part of life. And so for an MK, that was really nice because even there were always people there were always missionaries coming through town that I could go out to eat with and kind of keep that part of my life connected. But I really remember the day in my bunk when I was just so put out with God over everything. And one of the songs that we sang almost every church we went to, the words to it, the title is Anything and Anywhere. And it kind of just says, Lord, I'll go anywhere and I'll do anything you want me to do. And I remember having to surrender to stay in the United States. I hated it here. And I had to let go of life as it had been and just say, okay, Lord, if I have to surrender to stay here, then I guess that's what I need to do. And what's so wonderful about God is nothing goes to waste. And when David and I graduated and got ready to step out and serve the Lord, he took us to Miami, Florida, which is like the most perfect place in the world for an MK from Latin America. And we've been involved for 30 years in a bilingual, multicultural church, so every week I get to sing in both languages and deal with so many nationalities. But this truly is one of those songs when I'm driving that I still sing in my head, because I remember the day, as many of you do, when you had to surrender everything and give it over to the Lord. And this is a song that reminds me of my own personal surrender to stay in the States. And he blessed me so much for it, as he always does. Thank you.
From this day forth, I give my life to you. Everything I have and everything I do. Lord, take my life, take all today. Now light my path, show me the way. Anything and anywhere, Father, for you. I'll go anywhere and anything I'll do. Lord, give me a broken heart, your perfect love to share. 'Cause Father, I'll do anything and I'll go anywhere. If he is speaking to you, why not answer now? At his cross and sacrifice, before him humbly bow. Who will he send to set them free? Lord, here am I. Please, Lord, send
the neat thing is they have practiced that now for 30 years or so. And that is fantastic to hear that testimony.